I wasn't sure what to expect from a movie like this one, considering it's a movie in a franchise that I have never properly watched. But equally, it's also a movie about making movies, and I find those to be a nice dive into the film industry, and quite fun and creative when done right. So you know what? I decided to bite the bullet and get myself a ticket to this movie. And man, the 2025 meta reboot to Anaconda is kinda messy. This movie honestly kinda disappointed me, and I didn't even have that high hopes for it to begin with, having no real connections with the Anaconda franchise. Griff and Doug, played by Paul Rudd and Jack Black respectively, have always had the dream of remaking their all-time favourite movie, the 1997 cult horror classic Anaconda. And with their midlife crises coming up, they find the perfect opportunity to fulfill this dream. So they bring a crew and head over to Brazil to shoot their movie in the Amazon jungle. But eventually, they end up going through this movie for real when a giant anaconda starts to hunt the crew, and the crew must escape. The concept of this movie is one I can definitely get behind, and it even has plenty of perfect opportunities to bring some great moments, and even hilarious scenes. But alas, it has some problems that I feel like ruin it in the long run, and prevent it from being a truly great movie. The tone of the movie felt incredibly inconsistent. I love me some movies revolved around making movies, but I feel like that concept sometimes just takes a back seat in favor of just being a standard horror movie, just like Anaconda, to the point of it basically just feeling like a spoof of said movie. As a result, the humor can feel kinda out of place, and that's a shame, honestly. However, while the movie's humor is okay, I feel like that also feels inconsistent, as the timing felt either too fast or too slow, no real in between. The characters were fine, I suppose, but not particularly distinguishable from one another. It was at least interesting to see Jack Black as a straight man, and Paul Rudd as the wise guy, but their relationship felt underdeveloped to me. Also, this movie's use of the liar reveal trope is some of the worst I have ever seen. Basically, Griff, Paul Rudd's character, claims to have gotten the Anaconda film rights, but once they notice a film crew shooting a proper reboot to Anaconda, they all get pissed at Griff for basically risking their lives and relationships just to be like, oh wait, he never actually had the rights to the movie franchise to begin with. I also felt like this movie's meta humor felt very on the nose. It's like Sony was very much unashamed that they didn't have any original ideas, and that kinda pissed me off a little, because it's essentially bringing up a problem that Sony has been having for quite some years now, and is not really doing anything funny about it. It could have given a perfect opportunity for satire, but alas, it doesn't really give it. Additionally, it felt kind of confusing as to who was at fault. At points, it kind of felt like Doug was in the wrong for how he treats his crew, but I also felt like Griff was in the wrong for lying about the rights. So basically, I wasn't exactly sure who to root for this movie, and considering there are two main leads, it adds to the already messy story. Furthermore, I feel like there was a plot hole in the movie. How did they get all the footage for the film at the very end? Granted, it is possible they were using either a camera on the trucks, or possibly using one of the set cameras, but regardless, they should have at least shown it. Otherwise, it would have come off as a bit of a plot hole. Finally, the fact that they used Nicki Minaj's Anaconda made me want to die. Granted, they didn't use her verses, but the fact they used that song at all in a movie released in 2025 made me shrivel up. Overall, while this movie isn't one of the worst I've ever seen, if anything, I just feel very indifferent towards it. It's relatively harmless, I suppose, but regardless if you're someone who has knowledge on the franchise or not, I don't think you get a whole lot out of it. If you're really curious to see it, probably wait for it to come out on rental, but I wouldn't really hurry to see this one. It's totally mediocre. If you want to see a movie about making movies starring Jack Black, just watch Be Kind Rewind instead. Or equally, if you want to watch a movie where Jack Black ends up in real danger, watch Tropic Thunder instead. But hey, at least for Ice Cube, it was a step up from War of the Worlds, so that's something.